Just after sunset, the headstones cast long shadows as the sky turns violet. Then all of a sudden, birds arrive. They perch on gravestones, circle on crypts, line the branches like silent sentinels. Not chirping, not moving, just eerily watching. It happens not just here in the UK, it happens all over the world. Birds gathering in cemeteries, sometimes before funeral, sometimes long after mourners have disappeared for the rest of their day. Is it instinct, coincidence, or is there something else at play? I am Paranormal Ripples, aka Ray, and this is Haunted Hours, where we dig into the dark, the uncanny, and the things that don't die quietly. And this topic is, why do birds flock to the dead? As always, do what this banner says, everyone, so you don't miss anything. And shall we discuss this eerie topic? So, for thousands of years, birds have symbolised death in many cultures. It's not in a vague, poetic way either, but like severe supernatural, spiritually. There's like a few legends associated with birds. If you go back to ancient Egyptian times, they saw birds as particularly the bar bird. If you don't know what the bar bird is, I'm going to get it up for you now, so you're not, wondering what I'm on about. There we go, everyone. This is the bar bird, and as you can see, this in their culture, this is basically them saying it's part of the soul. Like it's a soul, it's like a soul leaving the body. So that's what the Egyptians thought, and we know what the Egyptians have had. All I've said about their like way of living, basically everything we know about stuff today, like Egypt has got a lot of questions. Like they worship this bird, obviously bringing out it, saying it's like the soul leaving the body. They worship cats. So we know in Egypt has a lot of interesting fascinations with animals. Celtic lore, however, warned of the being today or banshee, as it's known, and the banshee's cries are often accompanied by crows, cawing or cawing. If you don't know what a banshee is, I'd look it up. Basically, like a siren in the night. It's kind of crazy. I read on an article on a website once, like this was like years ago, and banshees are getting more and more common to folks in Ireland. So hopefully, and hello everyone who's just tuning in. Like I said, we're talking about why do birds flock to the dead. In Slavic tales, everyone. Well, if you don't know what Slavic is, I'll let you know. Slavic tales are just basically from from Slavic region, and they've come up with something crazy as well for their birds theory. The appearance of a raven or magpie at your window is meant to signify that death is near for you, which is crazy. Inuit legend claims that certain birds carried the dead to their next realm, or worse, returned to claim those who had cheated death. So basically, they would carry the soul and like fly away with it, or they would come and collect the ones that have faked death and basically said, "Nope, you're coming, don't worry." So Us humans have always noticed patterns, I believe. Like I've always said, birds always seem to be like nearby when life has left a body, or basically around people that have had like life leave their body. Basically, this is the crazy part. Um, so why do birds flock to the dead? Everyone, let me know what your thoughts are. And hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Um, basically, throughout history, also people have written about birds. Showing up on funerals, burials, the days before death. The exact sometimes at the exact moment that someone passes on. Back in Victorian times, especially here in Victorian England, if a bird flew into the home before death, it was always considered a terrible omen. I never knew about that, but because I learned about that in school. But it was something I learned when I was doing this topic. Everyone, um, in rural, and this is where it gets even more crazier. In the rural Appalachia. Well, if you don't know where Appalachia is, I've done a topic about the Appalachian Mountains a few episodes ago. A death crow, which is perched on a fence, is meant to signify that someone is about to pass. Um, and even more unsettling, two newspaper articles, right? One from 1908 in Ohio, reported that a cemetery there, right, there would be vultures gathered there every Wednesday, the day of local funerals. Then 10 years later, during the 1918 flu pandemic, reports surfaced of crows circling homes hours before the infected ones of the flu died, which is even more crazy, everyone. Um, is it coincidence, or did they know something that we didn't about death or something? Um, I reached out. Basically, I reached out onto the internet and I looked up paranormal forums about this experience and see if anyone's like had anything happen. Basically, um, this is a crazy. Basically, I read a story on a paranormal forum of a woman not far away from me in Yorkshire. She described that 7 days after her father died straight, 7 days straight. This is after her father died. A group of starlings circled a headstone every evening in New Orleans, Louisiana. A funeral home employee claimed to see flocks of crows lining the roof during every cremation, which was crazy. But this is where it gets even weirder. One person I read up on, this is on Reddit, and he was coming as anonymous. They didn't want to like have their name. They swore during a ghost hunt, which they did, their EVP session, which you don't know, EVP is the electronic voice phenomenon, like the voice recorder. It was disrupted by what sounded like birds of hundreds of wings overhead. But when they looked to see, well, if where all the birds had gone from they were flapping their wings and everything, the sky was clear. So there's a pattern here, just like that. There's got to be a pattern here, everyone, which is even more crazy, Um, let me know what you think, everyone, and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. So, we know that birds navigate using magnetoreception, meaning that they literally see the Earth as magnetic fields. So, some studies have suggested that these birds brains detect shifts that we can't perceive. So they can detect solar activity. They can detect electromagnetic spikes in the environment, residual energy. So could these cemeteries be emitting low-level EMF, and that's why these birds are flocking around cemeteries? It sounds plausible, but what do you think, everyone? Like I said, let me know in the chat if you're watching live or in the comments. Because why are birds flocking to cemeteries or sticking around cemeteries? Because there's something there that's like giving this like energy off and like giving birds a chance of flocking. Because like I was driving past the cemetery tonight, that's why I'm late. Because I knew what I was talking about, and this is why I got told this topic. And there was like a flock of birds around a gravestone. So why is birds always going there? Because yeah, let me know what you think in the chat, everyone. And remember to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for subbing, whoever's just subbed. So yeah, let me know what you think, everyone. What is your theory on why birds flock to cemeteries? People think though that birds are not observers of this world. Sorry about that, everyone. Mum just come in. So yeah, right. Here's a theory that kind of questioned my theory on everything. So if birds in graveyards aren't just observers, are they watchers? Like Romans believed that ravens protected the journey of the soul to the afterlife. Some Africa, like I've got notes here, but I'm trying to like put in my own words. So why are Romans like gotta believe that birds like take you on to the afterlife? Egyptians have that belief, like that the bird like does a soul. Some African traditions even believe that if birds abandon the burial site, it means that the dead are restless in the ground. Yes, African tradition this is. So could these birds be like flocking to keep something else from trying to enter or escape? Or are they gatekeepers to the afterlife? Like, do they always go around these cemeteries like to basically like guide the soul onto a new plane? Let me know what you guys think and girls. Also, I looked at some more stories, and I'm going back to a couple more now that I'll probably give you a little break before I go on with a couple more stories. But another couple more stories that I heard on when I was doing YouTube, when I was looking at YouTube actually, and a couple of videos that stuck out to me was a man recount. I'll try and find the videos again because I was looking at them just a minute ago, but I'll try and find them and I can put them in the description for you guys and girls so you can look at them yourself. But a man recounted seeing a single owl sitting on his mother's tombstone every night for a month. But when he forgave her for afterwards, it vanished. Like, so was it his mum? Then we go to Edinburgh in Scotland. This ghost tour guide says that birds reacted violently, attacking windows. Right, whenever a group went to a certain unmarked grave, that was on another video. Gotta try to find this. But this third one is what got me, and this was actually on a Reddit post. A cemetery worker in California said that these birds formed a perfect spiral above a new plot of land, which before anyone in the work cemetery knew that there was that someone had died and that they were going to be burying someone in that exact plot of land. So what the hell happened? How did the birds know? So was they really having like a warning? Was it like a warning sign from the birds to say, "Get ready"? Or is there more to birds in these areas? Like, let me know what you guys and girls think, because I'm fascinated by what you would think that is happening. So we have legends of birds escorting souls. Remember, we have scientific evidence that they sense invisible magnetic fields, and they modern science, strange synchronicities. So that defy logic, you'd think. It's all seeming to add up that these birds can sense something that we can't. Where that is. So what if these cemeteries that these birds flock to, like I said earlier, are detecting low-level EMF spikes, and it's causing these birds when they're flying, they're seeing these spikes, and that's why they're flocking all the time around cemeteries. Is that plausible, or do you think there's another theory? I'd love to know your theories. So yeah, what if the moment when we move on, there's like a jolt that says like a signal that is sent out across the entire planet, like a sonar wave, and it basically says someone's passed on, and these birds are the only ones that can hear it for the foreseeable, and they go like our spirit animal that like guides us onto the next plane. Is it a message? Is it, or is it just me being superstitious, like being a superstitious arsehole? Let me know what you think, everyone. So let me know. Like I said, if you ain't experienced it, go to a cemetery and visit any grave or look at any grave and see if there's any birds around there, because it's crazy. But if the bird is just watching you and not watching anything, ask yourself why. Are they just staring at me? Are they like waiting, or are they warning you? Anyways, smash the like button, everyone. Like it's a warning from the beyond. Subscribe before the next shadow passes overhead. Share this with someone who still thinks birds are pretty harmless. Comment your creepiest cemetery sighting below for me. And remember, in haunted hours, even the skies have secrets, everyone. And tonight, the wings above the graves are whispering your name. So take care, everyone, and have a good night. Bye-bye, everyone.